everybody. How are you doing today? This is the second ever Live Live, and I am so excited, as always, to be here with you today. Again, second ever Live Live. Just to recap, if you weren't tuned in last week, this is going to be every single Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. And here's some people popping on now. Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Live Live round two, weekly, Wednesdays, every single Wednesday, 7 p.m. It's just going to be a couple of minutes of your time. I'm just talking about what's on my mind this week, what I'm going, what new ideas are going through my head, what I'm trying to push out. The topics are going to be different every week, but this week is definitely one I have been looking forward to and one that I planned out a long time ago. And I want to start off with this. So this past weekend, Caroline and I, if you don't know who Caroline is, she's my identical twin sister. We painted along with my brother, my boyfriend Tyler, painted our entire first floor of our house. It was a huge endeavor, okay? Any of you all know, any of you all that have painted before, especially at that degree, know that no good paint project is complete without a complete room remodel of some sort. So that happened. It turned into be my bathroom that's attached to the kitchen. So Caroline wanted to hang this big mid-century modern gold mirror on this wall and replace our old mirror. So I was like, okay, I'm going to put my skills to the test and I'm going to hang this dang mirror. So I'm hanging this mirror, and I have to, in the process, pull out the old anchors in the wall and patch it up with drywall mud. If anybody's used drywall mud and done some spackling, know that it takes some patience. Patience that I kind of got wrong the other day. So I take this mirror off, I spackle the drywall mud, the holes, and I'm going for it, put the dryer on it, I'm getting it all dry, and then what you do next is you sand it to make sure it is smooth. And the only thing is I guess I sanded it a little too hard, and part of my wall just started ripping off. And so some of you all know what that's like if you've done something like that. So my wall is like ripping off. So I'm like, oh my God, I have to patch some more. I have to do this whole process again. So what I do is I spackle the whole thing again, put drywall mud on it, and wait for a little length of time. Then I go over and sand it again. Well, it rips again. And so this process keeps going on and on and on, but it was so important to me to get it right, to get it perfect, because I knew when I go and paint that wall, if I don't get it smooth, if I don't get it perfect, then you can see it. Okay, and perfectionism. This idea here is what we're talking about today. Just for a minute, it doesn't just show up when you're painting, right? Those of you who have any kind of job, who have any kind of relationship, who have any kind of anything, perfectionism shows up for all of us, wanting to get it right, wanting to do it one time and be done with it, to do it thoroughly, especially if it's something that we're super proud of, super passionate about, or have just worked really hard to do. So perfectionism also came up for me a couple months ago when I was putting my website together. If you haven't been to my website, I'm going to put it down here in just a minute, because I'm linking all of these videos to this website, sending you all there to see some past ones. But I'm working on this website, putting it together. And one of my mentors, I'm on the phone with her, and one of my mentors says, Olivia, you've been working on this same page, literally, for 3 weeks. Get Mo. And I said, what? What did you say? Did the phone just cut out? Like, what? And she said, you're getting obsessed with it to make it perfect. Get Mo. Okay, well, what does get Mo mean? Okay, this is what she's saying here, okay? Get Mo. I'm going, what are you talking about? Guys, what I'm about to tell you, seriously, has changed my life. I am so serious. This mentor her name is Alex Perry, and she's incredible. Go check her out. She's a speaker coach. She's amazing. But she told me, get Mo. And I said, well, what does that mean? She said, is it good enough to move on? Wait a second, what? that just wrecked me. I'm like, what? Is it good enough to move on? Well, I've never even considered that, because it's supposed to be perfect. But here's the problem with perfect, right? We set ourselves up to be perfect, but perfect can't be obtained. And so when we have this idea of I'm going to do it perfect. And we get out of the gates and I'm not knocking doing a good job, right? Do a good job. But when we set our expectation that I'm going to do it perfectly, what we're doing, and hear this, what we're doing is intentionally making a choice that's saying, I'm not going to attain my goal. You're setting yourself up for a loss because perfection doesn't exist, okay? And when we start to unpack what, perfectionism looks like, we have to look at it like this. When we have this idea of perfectionism, it's spiraling. And we're recognizing it, we're spiraling out of control. We begin to waste time. We begin to get frustrated. If you watched last week, we talked about this idea of just getting to the breaking point in our life and just saying, nope, just getting at max capacity. I'm going through too much. Too much is going on. A lot of times you'll have that same nope feeling when you're starting to get obsessed with being perfect, right? And so it's not perfect, but is it good enough to move on? And I tell everybody I know this tool because I'm serious. It changed the way that I do things. And I audibly say, Gitmo. I literally, people that know me well know I'll be sitting at my computer and I'm working on something, real passionate about something, and I'll just go, Gitmo, and close my computer. And let me tell you, it saved me hours and hours of work. So I want to leave you with this one tool and remind you that if we are truly to be people that are striving to be successful in our life, in our marriages, in our work, in our fun, whatever that looks like for you, we have to allow ourselves to be human. And we can't show up for life if we're trying to become something that we just can't. We can't be perfect. Every talk I'm going to give is going to be imperfect. Every essay you write, if you're in college or high school, is going to be imperfect. We will all be 6 feet under, not finished. Okay? We will be imperfect. So stop setting an expectation on yourself that's going to set you up for loss. That's setting you up for failure on the front end. Go ahead and say, I'm going to do my best, but when it's good enough to move on and I start spiraling, it's good enough to move on. Okay? So one question, one challenge for you today. Where do you need to say Gitmo? Where do you need to let yourself off the hook? And we're live right now. And those of you, most of you will not be watching this live. You'll be watching it later on. But if you're live and if you're watching it later, this is really brave. So don't do it if you don't feel like you can do that right now. That's okay. But go ahead and type in the chat or go ahead and comment. Where in your life can you start to say Gitmo? It's good enough to move on. Where do you want to let yourself off the hook a little bit? Where is that area where you want to make some progress, but you're holding your own self back? So go ahead and throw that in the chat as we're closing, as we're closing out today. I'm hearing some amens, a lot of booms. A lot of us can relate to this. Yeah, all good stuff. We all can. And we're not made to be perfect, you guys. We're made to do good stuff and to know where our boundary is. Okay, Samantha says laundry. Yes, it needs to be good enough to move on. Again, let's not abuse it, but good enough to move on. Love it. Perfect mom. Stats. Yes, work. It can go into every area of our life, guys. So I just want to leave you with some encouragement. If you just need to shake, I'm just doing this in person right now. Just shake it off. Shake off whatever you need to shake off this week and decide this is good enough to move on. I love you all. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next Wednesday at 7 p.m.